Hello, let's talk about personal finance in college, how to save money in college, and how to budget in college. I'm kind of sensing a theme here. So yeah, let's just go straight to the video. The first half is going to be about how to save money and very tangible things that you definitely should do when you go to college. Like really every single one of these points is just, it's going to save you money. And the second part is just going to be how to budget and how to track all of your personal finances in college. So let's get straight to it. And hey, for those of you who may be new, welcome to the community. Okay, so I have a lot of suggestions on how you should save money, so I'm just gonna list them out. The first is that you should use every possible student discount that you're given, because once you get a .edu email, like, you know, priyalingutla@uchicago.edu, you are going to have crazy discounts. Like Amazon Prime is the first one that comes to mind. You're gonna save so much money on your Prime membership, and it's actually free for the first part as well. You're gonna get a discount on Spotify and Hulu together. That's going to be only $5 a month. If you sign up for unidays.com, you get like crazy discounts on clothes too. I remember because I shop like an 8th grader, I knew that I would get 20% off of any American Eagle purchase, which is, you know, that's pretty cool. You get a pair of jeans 20% off all the time. You also save on Audible, like Amtrak train tickets, New York Times subscription. That, oh my God, that changed my life. And even on products like Apple, Microsoft, Lenovo, every single big company has student discounts. So I'm gonna include a link down below to an article listing all of the student discounts you get. Use every single one anytime you have to purchase products. But don't purchase just because you have a discount, because discounts require you to spend money to save money, and we just want to save money. So this is only for essentials. The second is used textbooks. Don't ever buy textbooks new unless you absolutely cannot find it anywhere. But I bought all of my textbooks and all of my books for social science and literature classes, and all of my physics textbooks from Amazon Prime used textbooks. And it is just so much cheaper. You save like 80% off of like just paying full price for the textbooks. Don't ever go to your student bookstores. Like I'm telling you, we had Barnes and Noble on campus, and they were the ones that were our campus shop for textbooks, and it was so expensive. Just buy everything used. Buy it off of other people. Like you're gonna have so many Facebook groups for your college, and you're gonna have probably 2 or 3 just for textbooks. So look through those Facebook groups or check Amazon Prime. The third is just free food on campus. Like you really need to capitalize off of all of the free stuff on campus, because you're spending a ridiculous amount to go to college. So you might as well make it up off of the free food, the free t-shirts, the free stuff. Your campus will probably have a group on Facebook as well about where the free food is, because every time there's an event on campus, they're gonna have leftover food, and they kind of just leave it over there, and they post on the Facebook group. They're like, oh, free food in like Hutch Commons or whatever building it is. Just know that it's there, because every single day there are gonna be events on campus with free food, and you need to capitalize on that. Even better if you don't have a meal plan, because then you're not spending like the $2,000 a quarter on the meal plan. And speaking of meal plans, fourth point, if you have a meal plan, please just eat at the dining hall. It is so easy for us to just like Uber Eats, DoorDash, Postmates, or just like grab something off of a campus restaurant or store. But if you have a dining plan, and it's especially if it's unlimited, please just go there and eat. I don't care if you're like in pajamas, just go eat at your dining hall. Grab a friend, grab your laptop and some Netflix, do whatever you want. But like, don't spend too much money on food if you're already spending $2,600 at your dining hall. Like, we don't really think about meal plans as money because you spend all of the money up front and you pay it along with tuition, but you are spending $2,600 for that meal plan, which, break it down by day, that's a lot per day. So just go and make the most of it. Take some Tupperware, take a Ziploc bag, you take some of it home. I don't know, but make the most of it. Quick interjection just to say that you should probably smash that like button if you're still watching this video, and hit that subscribe button to join us in all of our endeavors on saving money and navigating college and writing essays and, you know, all of that. So when it comes to housing, living off campus is always going to be cheaper, because when you live on campus, at least at U Chicago, you had to have some sort of meal plan, and meal plans were just ridiculously expensive because I just never ate in the dining hall. Like, I would always want to eat in the library in a cubicle while I studied, because I'm telling you, there's always stuff to do on campus. Like, yes, you have time to eat, of course, but like, I just like doing things together, multitasking, you know? So yeah, living off campus, you don't need a meal plan. Also, rent is just so much cheaper. Like, everything is cheaper when you live off campus. So just know that, so that when you do feel like you're in a position to move off campus, like off campus means like you're on campus, but you're just not on campus housing. So I still lived like very close to campus. Like, I was a block away from my old dorm. I just was in an apartment and not campus housing. Okay, so the next thing, just hitting on transportation. Please look for public transit if it's possible. Really try to avoid Ubers. Like, I would always get sucked into the whole Ubering to downtown with my friends thing, and really just take public transit. It's an extra 5 minutes, and it's so much cheaper, because on campus, at U Chicago at least, you get a pass from campus that was built into your tuition, so it was free to use public transit, and it was already so cheap. Like, you know, $2 versus $30 to get downtown, it's a no-brainer. So be careful with just using Ubers. If you live in a place without public transit, you know, that's a different story, but try to be conscious of the amount of times you're Ubering. It really does add up. And the last point, please God, please don't eat or drink coffee at Starbucks. That place is death, okay? That place is death to your wallet. It is death to your credit cards. Like, it adds up so fast. If you drink a lot of coffee, like I do, I drink like so much coffee, and I'm not glorifying coffee. I know I have a problem, but Starbucks is so expensive. So get a coffee maker, get some ground coffee, or buy a cheap coffee grinder and buy coffee beans. That's even cheaper and it tastes better. And you're gonna save hundreds of dollars in the long run. Like, in a year, you're probably gonna save $500 easily if you drink coffee regularly. Just make it at home and take it to school in an insulated tumbler. Doesn't even have to be a Yeti. We're not fancy here. Just, yeah, be very conscious of how much you're spending on basic necessities like coffee, which you could just brew at home and take to campus. Okay, so that's it for my spiel on ways you can save money, because I made all of those mistakes. Like, I spent way too much on Uber. I spent way too much at Starbucks. I just did all of the mistakes. So do all of the things that I said you should do and you will save money. Now let's move on to how to budget and just apps you can use to budget. So when it comes to budgeting, I'm a big proponent of saving, but when I was in college, I didn't really have like a part-time job on campus, and I had internship money, but I was very fortunate because my parents would give me spending money every month, and it wasn't like, you know, a crazy amount, but it was very reasonable for me to have enough to pay for food, pay for necessities, rent, and also go out with my friends on the weekends when we chose to do so. So I realized how lucky I am in that respect. So I never really thought about budgeting as much as I should have. After I graduated, yeah, I started thinking about budgeting because I pay for stuff and I have an apartment to pay for and my car and, you know, all of that. So if you are planning on budgeting, I would say the first thing you need to do is your first month on campus, track your spending. Like, before you even make a budget, you need to know what you're doing first before you decide to make a budget. And I'm really not for like budgets, because I don't think you need to allot like $100 for groceries every 2 or 3 weeks. Like, it just depends on the week, right? And that's where everybody falls off the wagon when it comes to budgeting, because they're like, oh, like I didn't stick to the budget, and then they go crazy and Postmate something for like $50. So what you want to do is first, for your first month, just track what you're spending. The way you can track spending is either using Mint Mobile, which Mint is a free app, and it is great to track spending on it because you can add every account you have, like whether it's your checking account, savings account, like if you invest, you can add all of your investment accounts and everything's in one spot, and it gives you your entire amount of debt, net worth, like where you are, how much you spent that month, and they give you all of the breakdowns. Like, they break down all of your expenses into food, transportation, housing, and it's a pretty smart app. Like, sometimes you will have to manually change things to make sure that all of the labels are correct, but most of the time, like, it's very fast and accurate. So that's a great way to track spending for your first month. Personally, I have Mint. I don't use it really that much because you can't be intentional about spending when it's tracking everything in the back end, right? So I look at it after I've spent everything, versus if you just add everything manually on an Excel spreadsheet, which I'm adding a template down below to the exact Excel spreadsheet that I use. It's very basic, but it works. I think when you track everything in an Excel spreadsheet, you're so intentional about what you spent that day. Like at the end of every couple days, look through your statements and add everything into that sheet, and you're gonna see it visibly and intentionally see everything you spent over the couple days, and you're gonna definitely spend accordingly the next couple days. Because if you've already spent like $50 at Trader Joe's and you wrote it down, you're not gonna spend more money on other food. You're gonna use what you already have. Versus on Mint, it's kind of just accumulating and you don't realize what you're spending until you check it at the end of the month. So yeah, Mint and an Excel spreadsheet are your two options. So let me show you the way I break everything down on my Excel spreadsheet. So it kind of looks like this, and I'm gonna give you guys a prettier version, but I basically break everything down into living, subscriptions and services, groceries and food, health and home products, dining and entertainment, and personal expenses. And unfortunately, my personal expenses are just like clothes and stuff, but I will say I put 50% of my money straight into savings. I put money into my 401k match, and then I put 50% of whatever's left straight to savings. So I don't even see that money. It goes straight to my high yield savings account, which you should have a high yield savings account like Marcus or Wealthfront, where you get, you know, money accumulated, but of course you should invest. I have investment accounts, my savings account, my checkings, and I only see 50% of the money I make after taxes and after I put everything into savings and my 401k. And I use that money in these different categories that I went through. I could definitely go into a very in-depth budgeting video. If you guys are actually going to be interested in that, let me know down below. I'd like to think I'm pretty good with my money. I'm not in debt at all. I've paid off my car. I have a Toyota Prius, which yeah, my name is Priya and I have a Prius, but I paid it off, so I'm good. But essentially that's what I would say. Like, you just want to track all of your money first, and then after you see how you're spending your money accordingly, try to figure out like general aims. Like maybe you're gonna spend 30% of your spending money on food, maybe you're gonna spend 20% on going out, you know, whatever you can choose to afford. I think you should allot it that way. I would recommend thinking of everything in percentage form, and only try to create that percentage form of your budget after you've tracked how you're spending what you have already. Once you see how you're tracking it, things will fall in place. So it's really just about tracking expenses through Mint or an Excel spreadsheet, and I think you should have both, but I would focus on your Excel spreadsheet and populate it every 2 to 3 days for a month, and then evaluate after that. But yeah, I would say just when it comes to personal finances in college, how to save money in college, those are my general, like, you know, surface level tips. And if you found any value in this video, please smash that like button and don't forget to subscribe if you haven't already. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you guys at the next video.